Good afternoon and welcome to the Lakeland Rotary Club. My name is Nate Dunham and I am so glad you guys could be here today. Looks like a lot of you are still on vacation, or maybe I'm starting to figure out what you guys think of me. I'm not sure. So anyway, Mike Loudon.
I'm sorry, Nate, that you had to find that out. Let us pray. Our gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to get together as friends and fellow Rotarians. Thank you for the incredible good work that Rotary International is doing throughout this world. And we pray in particular for the people of Haiti who have been through so much, the people in Louisiana, people in New York and Pennsylvania, people in California with all of the wildfires. And thank you for what charitable organizations like Rotary are doing to help those folks. May we all be involved. Thank you for this meeting today. Nourish us with this good food and nourish our hearts and souls with the program. For this we ask in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the four-way test.
Is it say or do? Is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And we sing.
My country is of this free land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of Pilgrim's fight, from every mountain side, every land.
Okay, and for our introduction of guests and visiting Rotarians, Matt Brown.
Come on, there we go. Win Allen.
Hi, if Delaney Kemp would stand up. This is my guest sitting there with Stephanie Cologne. I'm excited to introduce you to her. She's one of our new Load ambassadors with United Way of Central Florida. She's also the presiding Royal International Miss Gulf Coast right now. And she is the Young Professionals Network Director for the U.S. Christian Chamber of Commerce and owner of iDesign X313 Image Consulting and Branding. So welcome, Nikki.
My guest today, Lydia Boyd. I'm assuming she's watching. Lydia has been with us for several weeks, but she's working at home today, and she is an independent branch leader and financial consultant with Charles Schwab.
Do we have any visiting Rotarians, out-of-town Rotarians? Doug McCall is on the Zoom, okay?
Hi, Doug.
Anybody else? Thank you.
All right, now Ron Denny with Happy Dollars.
All right, who's happy? Sorry, in the back. Michael Huff. Well, I'm walking over. Cecile is online today, and she is happy celebrating another birthday.
Happy birthday, Cecile.
All right, I have two things I'm happy about. A couple of weeks ago, my youngest daughter had her first child, my fifth grandchild, fourth grandson. And then we have selected the date for our Flight to Honor Mission 7. It will be April 26th. So if you're interested in going as a guardian, which trust me would be, if you do it once, you'll do it a second time. Or if you know a veteran that would be interested in going, get on the Polk County Veterans Council website and sign up.
Thank you. Pam Craven.
Thank you. On your table is a card, an invitation to the Learning Resource Center's fall fundraiser, Paint and Pour. David Collins, renowned Lakeland artist, will be the guest instructor. It should be a fun night for all. If you have already bought your tickets, please take this with you and share it with your home, your neighborhood, your organization, your workplace. Thank you.
Bill Salmon, do you have a camera? Mike Loudon's gonna let go of $1 here.
I want to put $1 in the basket for the University of Nebraska, since we beat the mighty Fordham team this week, 52-7. And the reason I share this is that it may be our only win the entire season.
Anybody else have? Nate?
All right, thank you. And unfortunately, we're going to skip singing today. I know you guys are really upset about that. Unless you want to save us, Mike. All right, we're good. Okay, a few announcements. If I can get the following folks to come up: Matt Brown, Jack Lohman, Fred Oders, Stephanie Cologne. And while they're doing that, on your tables, you'll find our district news. So please take a look at that and find out what's going on. And I know Stephanie's going to talk about that a little bit as well. Go ahead, Jack.
Good afternoon, everybody. Just a reminder, we still need your donations for the basket and cheer for the golf tournament. Plans are coming along nicely. I am pleased to announce that our new member, Ryan McKellen from International Diamond Source, they've donated a Tag Heuer watch to the silent auction for the golf tournament this year. So that's pretty impressive. So we're going to have a great silent auction going. And I've got the bucket in the back. Looks just like this. If you want to come see me, you can still get in on the raffle. At the end of the meeting, we're going to pull one ticket. Somebody's going to get to make one putt. If you sink the putt, you get half price dues for next year, and we raise a little money for the golf tournament. So we have a meeting tomorrow night, 5:15 at Cleveland Heights. And if you're interested, you need any information about the golf tournament, just see me at the back table. Thank you. Oh, see Pam Craven if you want to sign up for a volunteership.
Okay, so just wanted to let you know on your table there is another flyer for the Rotary Day with the Rays. It's going to be Sunday, September 19th. The gates open at 10:40. The start time is at 1:10, and they will be playing our Detroit Tigers. The tickets have to be purchased by Monday, and if you're interested, you can reach out to me. We'll put this on. This is on the Activity website, but is it on our? It will be on our website as well, and you can RSVP to me, and we can coordinate payment, and we'll make sure we get you signed up. Thanks.
Thank you. I am pleased to announce that our first community outreach project will take place on Saturday, September 18th at Veterans Park, and we'll be pressure washing part of the park in preparations for the law enforcement event there and for the veterans in November. I do need pressure washers though. There is a water hookup there, but if you have a gas-powered pressure washer, let me know so we can sign up, make sure we have enough there, and I will be sending out an email asking for volunteers if you have a pressure washer. Thank you.
Just a quick reminder, some of our previous members have donated some club shirts back to us. Unfortunately, I only have about 6 men's large. So, but if you have an interest in a shirt, we've got some over here.
Thank you, Fred. And now Gwen Allen's going to introduce our program.
Thank you, President Nate. So I have a friend for about 5 years, Javier Marin, Vice President of Business Development from the Central Florida Development Council, is with us today. Javier advances the vision of Central Florida Development Council through domestic business recruitment, attraction of foreign district investment, international trade, and business resiliency initiatives intended to support expansion and retention of existing firms. Javier has earned hands-on in-depth expertise in business growth, trade finance, business lending, mortgages, strategic planning, and business reorganization and relocation. So prior to the CFDC, he was an assistant director with the Florida Small Business Development Council at USF, where he was responsible for international trade, finance, and growth acceleration services. Prior to the SBDC, he invested a combined 22 years in the banking industry and considers himself a recovering banker. So additionally, the synergies among the private, public, and nonprofit sectors, Javier has been a guest speaker, panelist, and workshop facilitator at national and international events. He holds an MBA in International Business from Weber International University and a BAS in Public Administration from Polk State College. He also has earned credentials as a certified business analyst, certified economic developer, and certified global business professional. I love this part. Javier is two-term elected member of the Dover, New Jersey Board of Education and mayor of the town of Dover, New Jersey for one term. He's lived in Colombia and Sweden, and he's fluent both in Spanish and Swedish. So welcome, Javier Marin.
When you asked for my mom's phone number, I didn't realize that's what you were looking for. But thank you, and great to be here. I see some familiar faces. I'd like to think that we have some information that you're going to enjoy today. So why don't we just start talking about some of the things that we do at the SBDC. Our mission really is to work with firms and create an environment in Polk County where companies are going to be bringing new jobs. Now, when we talk about jobs, we're looking at high-paid, high-skilled jobs. As you know, Polk County is at the verge of going into I would say, an advanced manufacturing / tech job to become a tech hub. And it's very exciting to be able to identify those companies out there. Now, how do we do it? Well, we promote Polk County as the best location to find in Florida. I normally say I'd love to see Polk County as a global destination. We advocate for key businesses. So some of you who may have known us, the CFDC has been in existence since 1986. In 2015, we became a private nonprofit. We still have the contract with the county to be Polk County's Economic Development Partnership. But there were two important reasons why we needed to separate from being county employees. One of them is that we can advocate easier when we are a third party in any type of negotiation. And the other one is that government doesn't move at the speed of business. And we need a good buffer between our county government and businesses. We also facilitate collaborations. We work with local agencies, whether it's small business development centers or SCORE. We also work with statewide organizations such as Enterprise Florida. And at the federal level, we work with the Small Business Administration. We work with the U.S. Commercial Service and Exim Bank. And then, of course, we advance Polk County's economic development strategy. Now, let's talk a little bit about those. These are about to change. Our board actually had what we call the board advance, because we don't retreat, believe it or not. We don't retreat, we advance. So we had a board advance last week, and these are being wordsmithed. But in general, we want to be able to expand the local ecosystem where every single community in Polk County is elevating its businesses to a level where they're going to be able to participate in tech-related industries. Now, when we say tech-related, it doesn't necessarily mean just manufacturing or just aviation. There are many industries that can be tech-related. In a sense, if they use technology to advance their business, that's what we want. And some of these companies may actually need some type of certification, so we're willing to help them achieve those certifications. The next one is to improve our competitiveness and to support the Central Florida Innovation District. Now, when you think about Florida Polytechnic and that area there, we're looking at probably 4,500 acres that can be developed to become not only an innovation district, but also a research center for Florida Polytechnic. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to advocate with the different partners. So far, the City of Lakeland, the City of Auburndale, and Polk County have already signed an agreement to support it. We're going to be looking, once there is ownership of that property, because there has been issues with any interest in developing it. But if there is a new owner there, we're going to be looking at attracting companies not only domestically, but internationally that are going to take advantage of everything that Florida Poly can offer in terms of research, and also to work with Suntracks in order to advance technology. So as you can see, our economy was based in agriculture and mining. We became Florida's logistics hubs in the early 2000s. We started getting more into manufacturing and advanced manufacturing. Now we're ready to take that leap into technology. So we want to make sure that we support that. And the third one is to advance critical transportation infrastructure, and we actually are rewarding it to talk about infrastructure in general, not just transportation, but also water, broadband. So there are several issues that relate to infrastructure where we want to make sure that people and companies can thrive in Polk County. So needless to say, we keep growing, but a lot of people still think that we are between Orlando and Tampa. And that's fine. In many ways, it's good to be recognized as a center, but we want to make sure that we go beyond being recognized geographically as being between Orlando and Tampa. We really want to get our own identity in Florida. So Polk County is definitely on its way there. We have a lot to offer. We are competing head to toe with our other regional partners. And we have a lot, well, I mentioned that we have a lot to offer. Now, the next generation of talent, we have 7 colleges and universities in Polk County. But we can't forget about the fact that USF and UCF are right here. They are research universities. They are supporting Florida Polytechnic, and we want to make sure we continue those partnerships. But altogether, we offer 57 different degrees in Polk County. So we have students that can be educated right here, and we would love to think that we're not going to be losing them at any point of time. We want to make sure that they're going to stay here and they're going to find jobs right here in Polk County. So it's really no longer a secret. We are actually the second largest growing county in all of the United States, right after Texas. And so first is Austin, Texas, then Boise, Idaho, and we're tied with Boise on second place. So it's an exciting place to be. There are 50 people moving into Polk County every single day. Just think about it. There are 300,000 people moving into Florida. Polk County is attracting most of those people, 5%. What can you say about an area that's attracting so much? We're in growth mode, and we're excited to be part of that growth. So it's visible. And yeah, we realize that traffic is an issue on I-4. We realize that airplanes are flying over certain residential areas in Lakeland. We see that, construction keeps coming to Polk County. But there are also good things, really good things about that visibility of the growth, right? Legoland keeps us expanding. We have more and more businesses that are thriving. We have small businesses thriving in Polk County, and we have large businesses. That is what really makes us different. The Florida Chamber of Commerce did a study 2 years ago, actually 2018, and they were able to determine that Polk County is the most diverse county as it relates to industry. So I think we're doing a good thing here. We are planning well, and we're making sure that we move in the right direction. In terms of community impact, since 2017, we have been involved with several projects. One of them is Nucor. As you know, it's what they call the smallest steel facility that Nucor has. Is now in frost-proof. It turns out that it costs $240 million, and they have 200 people working there. So, and that is the smallest. It's one of our newest, largest achievements here. Publix was able to expand East River. Amazon Prime supports now about 3,000. Well, there are about 3,000 jobs At Lakeland Linder International, Amazon Prime has about 1,000. They're looking at 2,000 additional in the next year. And Florida Can Manufacturing is just a home run. They have a sister company here in Polk County. They wanted to expand. They wanted to make some aluminum cans, and we're able to find a location in Winter Haven for them. That's another 200 jobs. So all in all, it's close to 5 million square feet that we've been involved with in growth, capital investment of close to $1 billion and over 5,000 jobs. Now, in general, we work with companies that are bringing jobs at the tune of 115% of Polk County's average wage. So we want to make sure that they enhance our average wage, which is currently $43,000. So these jobs are around $50,000. The most recent announcements from the previous year, actually our fiscal year started October 1st of last year. We had 3 companies, Cedrins, Coca-Cola, and Mineral Development. Coca-Cola was an expansion, but we also, these are domestic companies that we're able to work with. But we also had some international companies. So Alphamec is a Brazilian company, has been working with them for 3.5 years. I'll tell you that a sister company of that firm went to Georgia. We're not going to mention the county. They were given a check, and they were basically left at their own devices. What we do here is we do full soft landing support for companies where we make sure that they're going to be able to thrive. And so 3.5 years later, they decided that they were going to start here. They're going to start with 10 jobs, $100,000 capital investment. They're coming to Lakeland. But the expectation is that within 18 months, they're going to be able to emulate their existing facility in Brazil and bring their manufacturing here with about 35 jobs. BeLive is a tech company. They're going to start very small. Most of my international projects start very small. You know, when you're moving into a new country, what you want to do is just kind of dip your toes into it, make sure that the market's right for you, that the community is going to support your growth. And so that's what we see, but I can see BeLive growing into the area around Suntrax, because it relates, it does a lot of work, tech work for logistics. So it's exciting. Again, 548 new jobs in this past 11 months, $120 million in capital investment, and the average wage is about $48,000. In the pipeline today, we have 48 projects. Now, that's the most we've had ever. And the reason is because a lot of our clients can't travel, so they can't come and sightsee. They can't look at their potential new locations, so it's been a little bit more difficult. But still, companies are interested. The good thing is it gives them more time to do their due diligence. And so we have 48 projects. If they all came to fruition, of course, they're not all going to come to fruition, but we have a potential of 5,900 additional jobs, $1.2 billion in capital investment. And 24 of these, 50% are tech-enabled. And again, that's exactly what we're looking for. If we have high-paid jobs in Polk County, that's going to support retail and everything else that comes with it. And so in those 24 jobs that are tech-enabled, we're looking at 65% of them, which are manufacturing, logistics and distribution, research and technology, and then agribusiness and agri-technology. We can't really forget about where we came from. So just to give you an idea of what the life cycle of our projects looks like, what we do is we work with the communities. Now, there are 5 cities that have their own economic development partnership. So Lakeland, Bartow, Haines City, Lake Wales, and Winter Haven have their own EDCs, and our role is really just to support their efforts. But when it has to do with the 12 other municipalities and unincorporated Polk County, what we do is we want to make sure that we build competitiveness. How do we do that? We identify sites that are right for the different types of industries that we're looking for. We work with local officials to make sure that those sites are going to get quick permitting process. And then we start marketing those throughout the world, actually. My job before COVID was really to work, to travel to different locations. I traveled about a week every month promoting Polk County. I kept telling people that my job was to become a cheerleader for Polk County, and recognizing that there are about 7 billion people in the world. I'm sure I have a job forever, so it's an exciting thing to do. But we have companies from Ireland, England, Holland, Ecuador, Colombia. We have people in Brazil that are interested, Mexico. They're all interested in Polk County because of our efforts in making sure that people understand that Polk County is a global destination. We cultivate those relationships with site selectors, with organizations such as Enterprise Florida, and with firms, centers of influence throughout the world, to make sure that whenever a company says, hey, I'd like to do something in the US, people don't just think about Florida. People normally think about Florida and they say, well, Miami is the right place for me. Well, guess what? Polk County is the right place for them. And we have advocates throughout the world that are influencing other people to at least come and take a look. We recognize that we are not the right location for every single company, but we are the right location for many companies. After that, then we generate those leads, we work those leads, make sure that we provide all the information. We want them to make an educated decision. And again, they have had plenty of time. A lot of people can't travel from Europe. People can't travel from Brazil right now. So it is time for, their due diligence has been extended, but they keep saying that they're interested. So we're looking forward to hosting them in the next few months. Once we identify the company needs, we're going to go to our local communities and say, well, we have a company. So for instance, today, we received information about a company that makes solar panels. They're bringing 1,700 jobs, and they're looking for 1.2 million square foot building. And so we send that information to the local communities. We have a conversation with those that can host that size of building. And then once we identify the benefits of those locations, then we're going to provide a response to those companies. And then we're going to host their site visit. Now, keep in mind that these companies want to make sure that their confidentiality is kept, because it is a competitive advantage for them to keep the information confidential. So you probably won't hear about it until after it happens. But it's, again, communities that can maintain that confidentiality are going to be able to be more successful and be able to attract more business. Then we apply and approve some incentives if they are available at the state or local level, could be the county. And then we win the project and we announce it. Now, the job doesn't really stop there. I have a company that came from Spain 3 years ago. They have over 40 employees. They're a wood manufacturing company, and they still call from time to time. During the time that from the time they came here, I helped them find their CPA, their engineer, their attorney, even the guy that cuts their grass and changes their bulbs. And so my job really is to make sure that whatever these companies may need, I'm going to be able to find resources for them. We don't do a lot for them because we don't do any consulting, but what we do is to identify the right partners for them so they can thrive and be successful in Polk County. Now, one of a lot of people know us mostly because of our projects, whether they are domestic or international, but we have other bigger responsibilities in Polk County. So one of them is support business expansions. Everything that I just mentioned before, that applies for companies that are expanding here in Polk County. They may call us and they say, well, we're looking for a new location here in Polk County. We may need more jobs. Can you help me find a bank that's going to get me some credit? Yeah, I see a lot of hands going up. And you're on our list, you guys, so don't worry about it. We do connect them with technical assistance. We also support their import and export efforts. So my role, I have a company in Mulberry that needs to buy some product from overseas. I was able to provide the list. of potential providers. They also want to sell their product in Mexico and Latin and other Latin American countries. So my role is to identify those potential buyers for them. So needless to say, I have the best job in Polk County, and I don't think anyone can argue with it. Site selection, I mentioned already, incentives and permitting. So again, our job is to sit down with Polk County officials or maybe city officials and identify how we can improve these permits quicker for these companies. The idea really is to bring a team that can work with them and help them go through the process so it becomes painless. I can tell you when I joined CFDC 5 years ago, one of the biggest things that I kept hearing from Adrian Jones from Legoland was that when they decided to come to Polk County, they realized it wasn't just going to be a transaction. They knew that there was a county and a group of people, he kept saying 650,000 people that wanted to work with Legoland and make sure that they were successful. And that's what we try to do for every single county. On the other hand, we also work with emergency management. Our role is to support industry in terms of disaster preparedness, disaster response, and disaster recovery. So we help companies plan for disaster. The idea really, and you are business owners, I strongly recommend that if you don't have a disaster plan, you create one as soon as possible. Because it's not just about hurricanes and tornadoes. It can be a pandemic. So we want to make sure that our business is going to be able to survive. After that, during disaster, we identify those companies that may be affected by a hurricane or by a flood. And then once the companies are identified, we're going to find those state and federal partners that are going to support their recovery and make sure that those resources are coming into Polk County. Again, most people don't know that we do that, but that's really our role. We are here to support Polk County businesses in whichever way is needed. And we don't have a specific size of business that we help. We can help small businesses. We can help large. In fact, one of the ways that we help, the county came to us last year, and they basically said, we have a problem. We have $20 million. We want to distribute throughout the community. Why can't, or would CFDC come and help us with that? So we spearheaded that effort. We developed the rules, and we were able to distribute $20 million to over 6,000, just under 6,000 businesses here in Polk County. They received anything between $2,000 and $10,000, depending on the size. Companies up to 50 employees were able to get $10,000 to support them, in addition to their EIDL loans and PPP and everything else that they may have received. But we realized that they were gonna need support, and the county was kind enough to share some of that money that came through the American Rescue Plan. 40% of those companies that received support were either women owned or veteran owned or minority owned business. And so the Central Florida Innovation District, I kind of mentioned that just before, but when you look at it, it's 4,500 acres to the west and south of Florida Polytechnic, and then an additional, I believe it's about 500 just north of Suntracks. This can become a reality. It's happening. It has happened in some communities throughout the U.S. And we think that between Florida Polytechnic University and Suntracks are going to be able to attract enough companies to support a true innovation district and a research site around Florida Polytechnic. Now, why would you say, why would we want to do that? We were able to do an economic impact analysis of that area based on what we anticipated. And we think that there is an opportunity for $5.2 billion growth in economic impact and 32,000 additional jobs that can come to Polk County. For those of you that may have not be following the news, it's expected that Polk County is going to grow by about 200,000 people between now and 2030. We have 725,000 inhabitants in Polk County today. And the northeast quadrant of Polk County is where most of that growth is going to happen. So we want to make sure we have the right number of jobs for them, that we have the right type of jobs. It's excellent for job creation, and the community as a whole is going to be benefited. Not just Florida Poly, not just Lakeland and Auburndale, but all of Polk County is expected to benefit from the Central Florida innovation. So that is my story. I'm sticking to it. Again, I have the best job in Polk County. It was great to be able to share some information with you today. And if we have time, I'd like to entertain questions. I'll be happy to entertain any questions you may have. Oh, there are two here.
That's broadband, nice to the internet available. Is that a challenge?
Thank you for that question. So the question is whether broadband becomes a challenge for us. When we talk about infrastructure, the municipalities, whether it's the county or the cities, are responsible for roads, and they're responsible for water and wastewater. The issue with broadband is that we need to be able to support private industry to execute that growth in terms of broadband. So it becomes a balancing act. We don't feel that there is a need for public dollars to go into a business. And so we want to make sure that we identify the right broadband companies coming to Polk County, that they get a fair advantage and that they're able to establish. So the quick answer there is anything that has to do of being the mediator between government and business is a challenge. But the advantage is that between Florida Poly and everything else that's happening in Polk County today, there are companies that are interested in bringing broadband to Polk County. Thanks for that question. Yes, sir.
All this is great fun, but I see no long-term plans for transportation. Commuter rail, I-4 is a mess. It's like planning suicide, getting on I-4.
Right.
And if you get there, because today it was 2 hours from Orlando back to Lakeland, and industry isn't going to put that either. What are they? Where are the plans?
Yeah, thanks for that question. So the question is, have we planned for transportation? Again, recognizing there are going to be 200,000 more people coming, that I-4 is a real issue, and that we don't have either light rail or high-speed trains. And so we have been in conversations with, well, let me start by saying the planning, we are responsible for executing an economic development plan, but the planning really comes from the county. The county tells us what they want us to do. Now, there have been conversations at the county level about the potential need for about $1 billion in transportation infrastructure. And so there have been conversations about that. Our role really is to support people talking to each other. We have done that with aviation. We did that back then when there was a conversation about 15 years ago about train coming through Polk County. Now we have been able to connect with Brightline, and our role really is going to be to support any conversation as far as what the company decides. Their stop is going to be in Polk County. They have to make a business decision. If you recall, if you were involved 15 years ago, the biggest issue is that we had people arguing on where the stop should be. And the real question is, where is it feasible for that company to have the stop, and can we all support it? The short answer to your question is there have been no clear plans in terms of transportation, but I would say our elected officials know that there is an issue, and they're looking. Sorry, I can't offer more than that.
I was going to ask the same question, maybe feedback on that. Is there, or have you been a part of the conversation about our water co-op and how that is going to be affected by our growth in our county?
And so, yes, there is a huge issue right now. We're running out of water. We do have water about 300 feet deeper, but it's going to cost 6 times more to pull it up. It's not clean water, so we have to do a lot more. And so the county is working very hard on that. They've been able to bring together the local co-op. There are some communities that are involved. There are some communities that are choosing not to be involved. But I can tell you, it's going to be very hard for me to bring a project to a community that's not able to commit to the amount of water that the company may be looking for. Now, the Polk County Co-op is going to be working with us, and we will know where those locations will be. But there are about, I understand it's about 4 or 6 municipalities that are not interested, or that may have signed up, but they're not interested in contributing financially. We have a big problem, and we need to be able to solve it. But the county is actively working on that. And again, our role is to facilitate that conversation. Thanks for the question. Anyone? Yes, sir.
We have a question from the Zoom group. Is ransomware included in the CFDC's disaster preparedness? And if so, what services are available?
And so no, we have not included that. That actually became more and more critical nowadays. And so for companies that are looking for support in terms of ransomware, we are connecting with the Small Business Development Centers. They do have a very strong plan to support companies through their ransomware plan. It is a big problem right now. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, well, it's been a great pleasure. Again, thank you so much for hosting us today. Please come to the CFDC.org website if you want to find out more about what we're doing and what our projects are. Thanks again.
Thank you. A lot of great questions today, and it's timely for next week's program. So remember those questions. Next week is going to be Martha Santiago with the commission update. So remember these questions. Please accept this as a small gift of our appreciation. Thank you. Okay, and now the 50-50 with Andrew Troller. And we're going to be drawing 2 tickets. We're going to do our traditional 50-50, and then we're going to do a ticket for the putting contest.
Here we are, sir. All right, let's see. We have 2 tickets.
All right, last 4 digits are 7506. Mr. Bill. All right, and now for the putting contest. Last 4 digits, 7523.
Only 4 of you. Might be you.
Uh-oh. Haha, it's me.
Show us your putt.
Nope, I'm going to assign my putt to Marcia.
No.
That's perfect. Even better. We get to keep the money. Come up here and putt.
All right, we're going to make this real official.
And while she's doing that, I would like to thank our guests and visiting Rotarians, Delanique, Lydia, and Doug McCall. Thank you guys for coming. And of course, the bad dad joke of the week. Did you know French fries aren't made in France? They're actually made in Greece. Oh, terrible. All right, let's see if we get a winner. Oh, come this way.
You got to hit the back of the cat glass.
Back of the glass. I think the glass is pretty good. Y'all right. Jerome. How I get there?
Oh. I'm kind of glad I didn't hit. I might have broke the glass. All right, and with that, we are adjourned.